Every year, at the beginning of the great hunting season, the Kuru warriors celebrate a rite of fertility and renewal, rooted in mythology. In the wind that blows continuously over these lava hills, the hunters, who must be married and over 26 years old, pierce the earth with their spears. Each digs a hole among the woolly saxifrage plants, driving below the moss and the bryozoa to reach the rocks beneath, which for them is the womb of the earth. The Kurus believe they are fertilizing the earth by injecting their sperm into it. Once it is pregnant, the earth will bear animals to be hunted. Game for the Kurus is called Mayama. She is the daughter of earth and man, and logically must be conceived before being killed. The impregnating of Mother Earth by her lovers is accompanied by intense mental concentration. At the moment of orgasm, these men must think of the animal that will be hunted. We should never forget that hunting is sacred among the peoples who live by it. It would be strange if it weren't, knowing man's tendency to make everything that concerns him sacred. Every year, an estimated 6,000 elephants are killed in Africa, 1,400,000 zebras, 1,600,000 buffaloes, 6,500,000 antelopes, and so on. The Dark Continent is becoming a boneyard. But the Lobi, known as the skeleton men because of their ritual painting, believe they have found a remedy for the dwindling supply of animals on which they live. At the change of the seasons, these hunters enter the waters of the Black Volta and celebrate the Banguela, the ceremony of life. After the dance has aroused them, each warrior encloses his penis in a magic case, symbolizing the animal species to which he means to grant the essence of new life. At the end of the ceremony, the semen obtained through the ritual masturbation is cast into the river. The animals along the trails of the Upper Volta will drink its waters and multiply. But if one day the migrating animals fail to return in spite of the ceremony, we can be sure it will be abandoned. The magic world is a practical world, like the world of technology.
Much like the days when Stanley dared cut through the jungle in search of Livingston, there are still places on the outskirts of our global village where calloused hands pounding on tom-toms announce the intrusion of the white man. The Dinka and Mundari herdsmen hadn't met one in 18 years. Driven out of their territory by a relentless Arab persecution, these unique tribes have been literally bullied across the Earth's crust into the forbidding environment of the White Nile. Here they scratch out their customary living while praying to the gods who have forsaken them in the past. At dawn and again at dusk, the men are the ones who care for the children. This includes protecting them from the world of predatory insects that swarm the area looking for free room and board on warm-blooded hosts. The fathers give the children a scrupulous washing with cow urine. Those who have come of age shower directly under the source of nature's own insect repellent. To further guarantee the repellent effectiveness of the ammonia contained in the urine, the Dinka and Mundari powder themselves with specially burnt and pulverized cattle dung. Disgusting? Any insect would agree with you. The beneficial use of excrement is just another example of how centuries of trial and error in adverse terrain have bestowed a perfect working knowledge of nature upon a primitive people. But does the word primitive do justice to an all-encompassing rapport with reality in which man is at once victim, accomplice, and moving force? Obviously not. We are now not only dealing with rudimentary forms of religious and socio-economic organization, as some would have it, but have entered a much darker, chaotic realm where the difference between terror and ecstasy is meaningless, and where the linchpin of all existence is magic. A Mundari herdsman treats his cattle like full-fledged members of his family. Branded while still calves, each head is given a lifelong name and lavished with loving care. If the animal were to die prematurely, the heartbroken herdsman would mourn for days. With the same devotion with which he doctored the calf's flesh after having seared it with a branding iron, a Mundari guards his herd from diseases and fractures. A conscientious herdsman would more readily comply to the moods and whims of his cattle than to those of his wives. The therapeutic value of magical autosuggestion has long been well known. When a Mundari witch sucks on the body of an old sick woman, she is putting magic to the service of medicine. If the witch is able to transfer the evil spirit tormenting the woman into a younger, healthier body, able to resist that particular ailment, the woman will survive. If all the powers of magic prove to be insufficient to unswell the pregnant cow, the desperate Mundari will try more conventional methods. Come what may, even a sick cow is better than no cow at all. At dusk, her precious manure will be burnt along with that of the other cattle, and will serve the Mundari well as a cleansing agent and as comfortable bedding for the long African nights. Even as children, the Mundari dedicate much of their energy to target practice. The spare and functional grace with which they move their lithe bodies is no artful embellishment, but a subconscious attempt to capture the very pulse of nature. For a primitive African, movement is akin to prayer, and as such unbinds the soul from its earthly fetters. Only slow motion does justice to the structural beauty and lambence of the Nilotic race in action. A mock battle is a joyous dress-up affair among the Mundaris. Many come to the ceremony girded with colorful ostrich feathers. Those who can afford a more solid defense come in tortoise-shaped suits of mail meshed with tiny pearls.